Shina here. I'm an artist and an expat living in Japan, and I guess part-time YouTuber now. Yay! So I have a bit of a story time. My first story is about I had to work a couple of days in Hakone, and when you go to the Open Museum of Art in Hakone, there is this little pond where you sit and you put your feet in the hot water to relax, I guess, from the hike or whatever. It's really nice, but that day it was raining, so the seats were wet and people were standing. Some people were like cleaning the seats and other people were just standing. So I took the chance and I just stood there with my cold feet in the hot water. It was amazing. But then I heard a poof and I looked around and I saw an old lady falling. And there was a man next to her helping her stand up. And then he left. And that's when I realized he doesn't know her. He just helped her stand and just left. And I was on this side and she was on all the way the other side. And between us there was more people than I can count, like Japanese and foreigners. One thing pissed me off is a foreign lady. She turned to her husband and she was laughing. I was so pissed off. An elderly just fell in a pond, hot water, and she's completely soaked. I'm telling you, even her hair and her hat was soaked. Her clothes, top, bottom, shoes, everything was closed, because when she fell, she could like really fell, and she was laughing. I know some people reaction to this kind of situation is just to laugh from nervousness, but no, that is so, I don't know, something about that laugh did not settle with me, because I laugh from nervousness sometimes, but that was not the nervous laugh, because you were not even in the situation. You were observer and you just laugh. What the rude. I can't believe it. And her husband that she was laughing with just stared at her and stared at the lady and did not react much. She was just laughing. Anyway, I stood there for a sec. The elderly just sat down on the wet stone seat, and people were around her and nobody acted. That is one of the situations that I always notice around in Japan, the bystander effect. Nobody do anything when something horrible happened to one person. Nobody want to get involved. I cannot do that. So I just went to her. I just walked to the lady through the hot water barefoot, and I asked her, she's okay. My Japanese is not that good. So I asked her, are you okay? Do you need help? Should I call people? And she was in a bad situation to the point that she asked, yes, please call people. Because usually they don't. Like, I'm okay, leave me alone. But she asked, please call people, call somebody. So that's what I did. I just left, and it took me a while, mind you, just to put on my shoes. And she, oh my gosh. All the Japanese people around her, nobody acted. Not just Japanese, everybody. Nobody acted. Nobody just did anything. So I just went to the cafe next to the pond, and I asked for help. Please help, this lady fell, and they did. Because a couple of minutes later I saw them like taking her away. I was hoping they will give her a change of clothes or anything to help her like dry or something. So yeah, that's the bystander effect. It happened more than one time than I count. One time there was a lady in the train, and we were like in the morning rush. I was going to work in the morning rush, and we were all hustling to work, and I heard a bam, and it turns out one lady walked right through the wall because she was dizzy. So I and another lady helped her sit down, and everybody else was just walking. Nobody even looked at her. So I stood with her and waited until the other lady brought in the security, and that's when I was assured she'll be fine. And then I went back to on my day. But the poor lady was struggling. She was really struggling, and nobody looked at her way. And this is so common here in Japan, especially. I noticed a lot. There was another situation. I saw an elderly man. I was like going on about my day. It wasn't summertime, and this elderly man, he was sitting by the road. He was literally sitting on the floor by the road, and people were coming and going. Nobody paid him mind. So I just had to ask, "Are you okay?" He said, I'm fine. I just need to rest." So I just went to the vending machine next to him, and I bought him some water, and I told him it's closed. I did not touch it. Like, I know some Japanese people are afraid of foreigners and everything, so I just gave him the water and I left. And I could tell that he was thankful for the water, because I did not see him reaching out to his bag or anything for water, because it was very hot. And it's so unfortunate. I cannot imagine how people struggle and just being ignored by everybody else around them. So in my case, I don't mind being ignored, actually, because I happened to faint one time before. I was not in Japan, but I was working and I fainted, and I was literally harassed because I was fainting. Like, people were touching me, like really touching me when I fainted, and I hated it so much. No, I rather nobody come near me when I faint. I rather like die on the red, like alone, than people come close to me, because it was so disturbing. I'm traumatized because of that. So that is one of these cases of bystander effect. But when an elderly fell, or anybody needs help, it's just so unfortunate, you know. Like, it doesn't matter. It's not the end of the world if you ask an older person, "Are you okay?" Like, what can they do? Like, be helpful. So that was my story number 1. And story number 2 is I got sick these days, and I'm not quite sure, maybe because I was working under the rain a couple of days ago, and I don't know, but I really got sick. Like, I got dizzy and I cannot like breathe properly, and I had a fever. So I did what every normal person will do. I went to the hospital, and I wish I did not. I really knew. I know this is gonna happen. I heard stories about this, and I even myself know how Japanese doctors are. So I did not know, because it was an emergency. I did not know what's wrong with me. I had a fever. I was dizzy. I could not breathe. I was not coughing. My nose was not running. So I did not know what was wrong. So I could not go to a specific clinic. Like, this is the system here in Japan. You have to go to a specific clinic so you can treat the thing that is wrong with you. So I did not know. So I just went to the hospital, hoping that they'll help me or fix me up. But yeah, I went to the hospital. Of course, went to it with a taxi and came back with a taxi. But I did not have the cash, gosh. I did not have the money for this. But when I went, the first thing that they charged me, she said she's gonna charge me because it's a Sunday. And I was like, so out of it. But when I came home, I was like, they charge people because it's a Sunday. Like, excuse me, what? People don't get sick on weekends? Like, what? It's ridiculous. So yeah, they charged me extra because it's a Sunday. And when I went, they did a COVID test and an influenza test, and I had neither. Okay, but I'm still sick. I still have a fever, and I'm still aching all over, and I still cannot focus. I'm still so dizzy. I didn't even see the doctor. He came with his paper. He said, "Oh, you okay? You don't have COVID. Here you go. We're gonna give you some medication." What? What's wrong with me? I said, okay, what do I do? We're gonna give you medication. And I was looking at him, and I knew this is a losing battle. I do not like fighting a losing battles, because no matter what I say, no matter what I do, no matter how angry I can get, they're not gonna change their mind. They're just gonna label me as crazy foreigner that doesn't even understand the norm, and they just may even escalate into calling security to kick me out of the hospital. So I just looked at him, and I prayed he gets what he deserves, and I just walked away. And I was paying for the fees, and I was like so pissed off because it was so expensive, despite the fact that I had insurance. Why was it expensive? Because I went on a Sunday. Did I choose to get sick on a Sunday? No, I did not. But I was worried that I might die and rot if I don't go to the hospital. I mean, I wanted to get better so I can live my life normally. But apparently I should have not even thought about going to the hospital in Japan. It's so frustrating, really. I still cannot breathe. My chest still hurts. If I take a strong breath, I'm still in pain. I literally still in pain. Like my lungs are closing sometimes when I take a breath. And I have no idea what to do. because I spent all what I had on this hospital now. I spent every cent I had on the hospital, so I cannot go to another doctor right now. I just can't. I don't have it. I don't have the cash. And it's so... I don't know, I should not laugh, but it's laughing matter at the same time. Yeah. So... it's something I guess I wanted to share with you. I'll see you later, bye.